All right, let's go ahead, start tapping our toes. Let's take it out and in. All right, heels up, right, left. Good, 4, 3, we're gonna tap the heels front, we're gonna add a push. Shoulders are relaxed. Good, 4, 3, we're gonna tap it side to side, reach across the body. Shoulders are staying over your hips, and we're lifting that opposite heel as we tap the toe. All right, toes back, press it back with triceps. Shoulders are down, so it's a bicep curl, but we're focusing on pressing back. Good, 4, 3, knees up in front, elbow to knee. Start to add a little rotation. Doesn't have to be a lot. Good, 4, 3, hamstring curls, here we go. Touch the heel. Again, shoulders are relaxed, but we're starting to warm them up. 4, 3, reach for the inner thigh. Pressing down. Doesn't matter if you can actually touch that foot or not. We're trying to turn those hips out. Good, march it out. 4, 3, forward step and reach. Forward step. So we're landing heel first, trying to keep the weight in that heel. So we want to make sure we're not pushing that knee forwards. I know I say that a lot, but we really got to be nice to those knees. All right, backward step, open and close. Shoulders over the hips. So our belly stays in. Good, 2. Keep the backward step, bringing the arms up overhead. And again, watch your arm position. We want to try not to go back and surrender. Thinking about YMCA. All right, in the center, hips go back, bring it up. So we're closing the car door. So imagine you're wearing a corset, one of those whalebone ones from way back in the day, and you're folding at the hips. We're gonna add in some arms, down, up. So notice I'm not bending over. I'm keeping my chest lifted like I'm chopping wood. Now we're gonna do diagonal chop, down and up. So again, keep an eye on the legs. We wanna try not to do a lot of turning. It's just our torso. All right, other side, down, up. So focus on trying to get that rib to the other side. Sometimes we get stuck on the same side. We want to go over. Good, 4, 3, 2. All right, we're gonna march or we're gonna jog. So march or jog, your choice. 4, 3, jumping jacks, here we go, out and in. Low impact or high. So this is low, and then this is our high. All right, back to our jog. We're gonna do a heel kick jog, or we're gonna do fast hamstring curls. Four, 3, skaters, side, side. So start with a step touch with big arms. So the bigger the arms, the higher your heart rate's gonna get. You can start to add a hop. Good, 8, 7, Good, last 4, 3, 2. All right, we're gonna march it out. March it out. Grab a drink. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our workout. So if you still feel like you need a little bit more of a warm-up, do the exercises without weights or just keep your range of motion nice and small. So we're gonna grab a weight you feel comfortable doing a curl to an overhead press with. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna step back. So right leg is forward, right arm out to the side, weight is in the left. Reverse lunge, bring it up, curl and press to the ceiling. So down, up, reach. Good, your time is on. Now if you want to make it a little more challenging, you can bring it up to a knee instead of to a tap. But we want to make sure that we're not getting stuck and keeping our legs and knees bent. You want to come all the way tall. So as we go down and up, arm stays parallel to the floor. We don't let it sway or lift up and down. Good, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So take it down, bring it up, reach for the ceiling. Your time is on. So you can always just tap in with that foot. That'll still give you a good balance challenge. But if you wanna make it a little harder, bring that knee up in front, all the way tall, squeezing through the standing leg. Again, if your shoulders aren't a fan of overheads, keep doing the bicep curl. That's all right. Good. All right, set it down. Switch back into the right leg. Pulsing side leg lift. So shift your weight into that right leg. We're going to take it out. 30 seconds. Time is on. So your challenge is don't let that foot touch the ground. Or if you do, it goes right back out again. So we want to try not to do this. Okay? Balance on this leg. So you can go slow if it needs to be slower. Make it a little easier to balance. But also remember, nice, good posture. Out and in. Good. Shift your weight into the left leg. Nice and tall. Here we go. Time's on. So a little bit of a soft bend in this knee, sinking into that leg just a little bit. Again, always have the option, finger on a table or a wall or a chair, as long as it's sturdy. So don't rely on the wall. It's just there for a little support. Good, you got about 5 more seconds to go. We're gonna go back to our lunges. Good, shake it out. Grab your weight. We've got round 2. We're gonna change it up a little bit though. I'm gonna be kind of mean. All right, reverse lunge, curl to press. Your time is on. So down, bring it up and over. So nice and tall. So this is a good one to work on our core and also working on our glutes, which are very important for our balance. Good. Don't drop the weight. Keep your weight in this right leg. We're going to do our side pulsing. Time is on. So if you have to drop the weight, you can. But we're just holding it. So it's just making us a couple pounds heavier. How many people are starting to feel the burning in their buns? Yeah, you should be. You should be. Rest if you have to, and then join back in. You have 10 more seconds. That means that we're getting a little strength in those glutes. Oh, shake it out. All right, other side, you guys. Reverse lunge to curl. Here we go. Time's on. So down, bring it up. And again, watch the shoulder position. So shoulders are away from your ears. Arm is parallel to the floor. It's kind of like you have an imaginary ballet bar that you're holding on to. Adds a little something extra. Good, hold on. Time is on. Lift and lower. So you're catching your balance on this side. So it's just a little soft bend in the knee, not a lot, so we're not sinking down. Just a little bend. Weight is in the heel and the midfoot. About 7 seconds, everyone. There's a lot of legs today, at least in the first couple rounds. Good, all right, shake it out. Grab a quick drink of water. Next rounds, we're gonna do squats with a front raise, plie squat with a lateral raise, and plie holds with a calf raise. So, weights you can do a front raise with. I take my legs a little bit wider. So option 1, squat down, bring it up in front. Yes, option 2, bring it up in front as you squat. The one thing to watch out for if you do that one is I don't want you to look like this. We don't want to drop our head between our shoulders. All right, 30 seconds, time is on. So remember, you can always squat and then bring it up, down and up. So imagine you've got a package to pick up. How do we want to pick up our package? We don't want to pick it up like this, right? We want to keep it close to our body. Chest is lifted, so we're dropping the weight between our knees, like the package is right between our ankles. So it can be shallow. Good. Next exercise. We're gonna do plie, side raise. Plie, side raise. Your time is on. Now, if the plie with the side step kind of gets ya, just do a plie with a side raise. Or add in that step. But remember, a plie, your toes and knees are pointing out towards the corners. So a wider stance. If you want to make it harder, do the side raise while you plie. Two and one. Take it down into a plie. We're gonna lift our heels right, left. The deeper you go, the harder it is, but what do we not want to do? We don't want to be bouncy froggies. We keep it down. If you want to make it harder, do them both at the same time, but we're not coming up. We're holding it. So you can still keep it kind of shallow, but you want to sink in. Good. 4, 3, 2. Good. Bring it up. Shake it out. Round 2. Yeah? Squats to front raise. I'm going to do the slightly harder version. 3, 2, 1. So remember, option 1 is this. Option 2 is this. But notice, I'm not dropping my ears between my shoulders or between my elbows. I'm keeping my chest up. So it's nice and tall. It's not knees forward. It's still a hip back, but a little more core to do it this way. If your squats, are okay, do this one. Last one. Good. All right, plie to side raise. 3, 2, 1. Good. Side step plie and in. So think about that duck foot position or the penguin position. Down and up. Side step. So you side step, but you center your weight as you come up. So we want to make sure we're not leaning. Side step and up. Or down and up. Good. Take it into our plies. So wide stance, toes are out. Where the toes go, the knees go. Lift and lower. So this is your option. But again, I want you to try not to let the hip lift. You're frozen. So isometric strength on the legs, but it's the calves that are working. We're pushing through the ball of the foot and the big toe, like we do a calf raise. About 5 more seconds and we're gonna switch to upper body. Good, bring it up, shake it out, grab a drink. I'm gonna change the view so I can see some more of my peeps. All right. We're going to do rows, kickbacks, and hay balers. So, rows, we're gonna do an underhand row. Nice and tall. Push the hips back like you close the car door, but instead of palms being in, palms are here. We're gonna pull, pull. Time is on. So again, when we do our pull, we don't wanna make it a bicep curl. Squeeze your shoulders. Your weight should not be going past your tummy. They should not be coming way out here. So it's just a squeeze. Imagine you've got a drawer that's stuck and you're trying to pull it open. If we did that, our arms wouldn't be able to come back here. We'd smack ourselves in the stomach with the drawer. Last one. Good. Now turn the palms in. Come to the finished position. We're going to kick back, back and in, back. Good. Your time is on. So you can always have one foot in front of the other for support. But core stability is really important. So we don't want to hunch over, have our arms back. Chest is lifted, shoulder blades are squeezed together, belly button is pulled into the spine. You can alternate if you're starting to get a little tired. That's okay. Especially for those of us that did boot camp yesterday. I don't think we got a lot of triceps yesterday though. All right, let's bring it up. Hay balers. Grab one weight. I'm gonna grab one of my balls because it feels better for my shoulder, but it's down, up, up. All right, time is on. Now, we're kind of focusing on the abs, so you don't have to do a squat. You can just do your little hip hinge. So think about when we did our warm-up and we did our choppers, right? So we've got that pitchfork, we've got the hay, we're scooping it up, chucking it over our shoulder. Which in real life, don't do this. This is not gonna be good for your shoulders if you're shoveling snow and you're trying to chuck it over your shoulder. Good, last one. All right, grab those weights, rows, kickbacks, and hay balers. So remember, palms facing forwards. Roll the shoulders down and back, folding forwards. Row it up and down. Your time is on. So really squeeze the shoulder blades and then bring the arms up. So you can technically do this without even bending your arms. Squeeze, that's your test. Can you do this without actually bending your elbows? Squeeze. Good. All right, bring it up into the finished position. Kickbacks. Time is on. So again, shoulders are away from the ears. Shoulder blades are pinched together. So open up that chest. Again, you can alternate. My weights are a little heavy today. Not too heavy, but a little. I'm feeling it. So decide what works best. Just try to keep going the full 30 seconds. After this, we've got our hay balers again. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, hay balers. So again, I'm gonna go for one of the balls, but weight is working just fine. I hold it on the end. Your time is on. So down and up. So it's just a wood chop. Doesn't have to be huge, so I don't want you going way over, like you're gonna throw yourself, fall over backwards. Squeeze the glutes just to come up tall, not to arch back. Add a little rotation, grab the giant seat belt, and buckle it. Last one. Good, all right. Grab a drink, keep those feet moving. We're actually gonna head down to the floor for the last couple of rounds. So we're gonna do some chest flies with some leg lowering option, and we're going to do tabletop rear delt. I'll show you an option if you don't wanna be on your wrists and knees. And then we're gonna switch and we're gonna do some glute squeezes and some windshield wipers. So, let's go ahead and set down our mat. And you want to have weights that you feel comfortable doing a chest fly with. And then weights that you feel comfortable doing a rear delt with. So if you have an option, small weights. I usually use 3s. 5s are kind of pushing it. So we're going to have our lighter weights. I'm gonna have my little pink weight. So we're heading down to the floor. And we're gonna start with our chest flies. So we're gonna be all the way down, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Or they can be up in a dead bug position if you want a little bit more abs. We're going to go out and in. Now an option is to lower one leg as the arms go out to the side. All right, so pick which one you want to do. Feet on the floor is fine. 3, 2, 1. Good. So time is on. So remember, chest flies are over your chest, not over your face. Sometimes we bring them over our face. We want to keep them over our chest. You can just hold a dead bug position, or you can alternate one leg going down to the floor. You can always just do the chest fly and not worry about the abs. You can also do bird dogs, lots of options. Good, all right, we're gonna bring it down. We're going to flip over onto hands and knees. So option 1, hands and knees in our wonderful tabletop position. Neutral spine, we're gonna bring the arm out and bring it back down again. It should not be going higher than parallel to the floor. If you don't want to be on your hands and knees today, you're just going to take your arm out to the side and do the same thing but lying on your tummy. Just bring the arm out and down. So 30 seconds, your time is on. So pick what feels best for you. So remember, we don't want to sink in. We want to push the floor away while we're in tabletop, and then one arm goes out to the side. So don't fling it out there. And don't bring it back by your feet. It's straight out to the side and back in. Good, we're gonna switch and we're gonna go to the other side. So again, you can be lying on your tummy doing the same thing, just bringing it out and down. 30 seconds, your time is on. So good tabletop position. So just like if you're doing bird dogs, so we want to keep our hips level, our shoulders level. We don't want to let any part of our body rotate. We're working the very small muscles on the back of our shoulder. Good, 5 more seconds. 2 and 1, good. All right, back to our chest flies. So again, all the way down, you can just do the chest fly, skip the abs. Knees bent, feet flat, and it's not a problem. Option 2 is your dead bug. Option 3 is your foot tap. You have 30 seconds. Your time is on. Good, so out and in. And again, you pick what works best for you. If you're gonna do the dead bug, make sure that your knees aren't touching and they're not pulled into your chest. Neutral position. If you're doing the drop one heel to the ground and back up. You can keep the knees bent, don't have to straighten your leg. Straightening your leg makes it harder, but pull those abs into the spine no matter what you're doing. Good, one more. Good, all right, let's roll it over. Back to our hands and knees. So again, you can do bird dog position, tabletop, and bring it out and in. I'm gonna go down to the floor for this one and do the modified version. So 30 seconds, your time is on. So I'm just bringing my arm up and down. So shoulders away from the ears. Nice and controlled. So it's not about height. It's about your body position and trying to get the back of the shoulders. They sometimes get neglected or they get taken over by the big muscles in the back. Good, switch sides. Same thing, 30 seconds. Your time is on. So just up and down. So consider this to be a little bit more of a therapy exercise than a strength exercise. Good, and try not to shift your weight side to side. You want to try not to be doing a lot of moving. So it requires more core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, we're gonna flip over onto our backs. Make sure you have room for your knees to go side to side without hitting any weights or anything like that. We're gonna start out. Option 1 is we're gonna take our right leg, knee bent, foot flat on the floor, left leg is up, pointing towards the ceiling. Option 1, come up into a glute bridge and hold it. This is option 1. Option 2, keep the hips up there and start to slowly lift and lower the leg. The farther you go towards the floor, the harder it's going to be. You have 30 seconds, your time is on. So remember, you can just come up into a glute bridge, a single leg glute bridge, and hold it. And hold it. But if you're gonna do the leg lift and lower, you cannot let that butt drop. So if your leg starts to drop and your butt starts to drop too, skip the leg lift and lower. Keep that neutral spine. Find the range of motion that works. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to switch. So other leg, knee bent, foot flat on the floor. Bring the leg up. We're going to lift and your time is on. So again, option 1, just hold the hips up there. Hold the glutes up there. Option 2, you can start to add a little leg movement. The bigger the leg movement, the harder it's going to be to hold that glute up there, to hold your hips up. 10 more seconds, and we're gonna do some windshield wipers. 3, 2, 1, good, bring it down. Arms out to the side, palms facing up. Option 1, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Rotate the hips side to side and the knees side to side, keeping the opposite shoulder on the ground. Option 2 is to bring the legs off of the ground and rotate side to side. Again, time is on. You have to keep your opposite shoulder on the floor. Try not to bring your knees into your chest. Try to keep them out just a little bit. Got about 8 more seconds. So upper spine is steady. Hips, knees to feet rotates. Good, back into the center. We're gonna go through the leg lift and lower one more time. So right leg, knee bent, foot flat. Left leg is up in the air, lift into your bridge, your time is on. So again, always, option 1, no extra movement. Single leg bridges are actually pretty tricky. They require a lot more strength, and they let you know which leg is stronger than the other one. So if you're not sure, you're about to find out. 10 more seconds. If you get really tired, switch to a 2-footed bridge. You always have the option to regress a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it down. Switch. Other side. And your time is on. So again, think about your spine position. So your hips may be up, but if your low back is rounded into the floor, lift. So you should have a straight line or close to it from your knees through your hips to your shoulders. Less than 10 seconds to go. And we're gonna do our windshield wipers. I'm feeling the burn in my bum. So hopefully you guys feel it a little too. Good, bring it down. Windshield wipers, arms out to the side. You can have your feet on the floor or they can be up and your time is on. So remember, whichever position you pick, feet up or down, opposite shoulder stays glued to the floor. If your knees are getting all the way to the floor, you're probably allowing your shoulders to come up because most people physically, you can't do that unless you're a contortionist. Good, bring it back in the center. Take the legs straight, take the arms either out to the side or overhead, whatever feels best. Imagine that you are on the rack and you are getting stretched out. Nice and long. So nice, good stretch. So pushing the heels towards the wall and then reaching your hands towards the walls. Good, in 3, 2, 1, good. All right, back to our windshield wipers. So knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're gonna work on a little more mobility this time. So that means that we're gonna keep our knees squeezed together. Arms are out to the side, palms are facing up. We're gonna rotate both knees to the right side, and as we do, our left hand is just gonna rotate palm down. Then we bring the knees back to the center and the palms face up. Then we rotate to the left side and your right hand goes palm down. Now everyone should have their feet on the floor. Feet are on the floor for this one. So you're gonna rotate the knees to one side, the opposite hand turns palm down, back in the center, everything is up. And then you go to the other side, and again, the palm rotates down. So we're just working on a little mobility. Good, we're gonna do one more. Good, all right. We are gonna roll onto our side. So you're gonna roll onto your side. Your head is gonna be resting on your arm. Your top arm is going to reach around and you're gonna grab your ribs. Now your legs are going to be like you were sitting in a chair and you fell over. So hips are at 90, knees are at 90, and I want you to squeeze those inner thighs together like you're holding a pillow. So your top arm reaches across the body and you grab the ribs that are closest to the ground. You're gonna take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, you're going to try to take that top shoulder and put it on the ground behind you. It is not going to go by any stretch of the imagination. And then you're gonna relax back to the center. So you've gotta keep those hips, knees, and toes stacked. It's super small movement. So grab the ribs. You're gonna rotate, taking that top shoulder back, trying to bring your ribs and torso with you, and then return to the center. You're probably only gonna be moving a couple of inches each time you do this. So keep that pillow squeezed between your knees. Good, one more time. Good. Now we're going to roll to the center into child's pose. So knees are together if you can, toes are pointing, and we're just going to keep a neutral spine posture as we start to sit back. So listen to your knees, listen to your ankles. Try not to do a huge rounding if you can. Try to keep a neutral spine and drop your forearms to the floor and forehead to the floor if you can. Good, now we're gonna bring it up and we're gonna go to the other side to do our rotation. So you're going to lie on your side, and again, knees are at 90, hips are at 90, so just like you were sitting in a chair and it fell over sideways, you're gonna rest your head on your hand, you're gonna take that top arm and you're just gonna try to grab your ribs. Squeeze the knees together like there's a pillow. And you're going to inhale and you're going to rotate that top shoulder back. Keep your hand on your ribs. Got to keep your hands on your ribs. And then back to the center. So you're trying to pull your ribs over. So I see a couple of hands coming up. I shouldn't see any hands. I shouldn't see any hands. So you're grabbing onto those ribs and you're holding those ribs. You're trying to rotate your torso back. So it's like you're moving like a whopping 2 inches. It's super small. It's super tiny. So what we're trying to do is get a little thoracic mobility. So we're trying to keep our lower spine neutral, our hips neutral, and rotate our upper spine. And the tighter you are, the smaller your movement is going to be. It's really tiny. I'm only getting a couple of inches. For me personally, this one feels really good. Let's do one more. Good. All right, now we're going to come back into the center and do a different kind of child's pose. So we're going to do a little bit of hip stretching. So we're actually going to take our knees a little bit wide for this one. So again, knees are a little bit wide, but our feet are together, our toes are touching. So we're going to be in bird dog position, except knees are wide, toes are touching. Keep the neutral spine. So we want to try not to round our back when we go back. We're going to keep that neutral spine. We're going to sit back, and then we're going to come forward again. So we're trying to hold a neutral spine and pelvis position as we sit back into our hips. So some of you may find this to be fairly easy to do. Some of you might find this to be a little bit of a challenge. Listen to your hips and to your knees. So you don't have to get your backside to your heels. But it's nice and slow, belly is into the spine. Good. We're going to do a couple more, but this time we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to round our back like you would if you were in cat-cow. Hold the rounding of the back and now sink back into it. Hold it for a breath. And then return back to your forward position. Good. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine. Hold the rounding of the spine and then push back into the hips. Hold it for a breath. Good, and then return to a neutral spine. Good, we're gonna come up to a half kneeling position. If you need to, take a moment and you can come up to a seated or a standing position to do this stretch. Just remember, if you're coming up to standing, give yourself a minute so that your blood figures out what's supposed to go where. So half kneeling position, weight is currently in the back knee, hips are directly under the shoulders, so I do a little crunch and a squeeze, And then we just push that front knee forward just until we feel a stretch. We're gonna hold it, and then you can also add a side bend. So we're trying to open the side of the body and the front at the same time. If you need to be up, you're just in a lunge position and you're doing the same thing. So standing or kneeling, whatever feels better. But you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the hip, maybe the quad, and then a little bit right in those lateral muscles. Good, bring it up. Other side, same thing. So again, half kneeling or in a lunge position. Tuck the pelvis just a little. Tailbone is pointing to the floor. Nice and tall. Do a little push forwards, and then also a side bend. And again, if you are in a standing position, tuck, so you're getting this good squeeze, this good lengthening here, and then a little side bend. So with this one, it's kind of tricky because sometimes our body wants to do weird stuff. Good, let's bring it up, step together. Belly is in, we're gonna open and close. And you can be, again, always, you can be standing, you can be sitting, you can be kneeling. Good, we're gonna open and hold it, squeezing the shoulder blades together, they're dropped. Good, arms out, spread the fingers. Good, bring it in, shoulders away from the ears, bring it up, start to walk it back. So try to keep the elbows in. Good, bring it down, roll the shoulders up, back, and down, hold them down, belly in, reaching back for the beach ball, press, release, press. So really imagine you have a beach ball, so we don't want to fly south for the winter, although we probably do. We're just gonna squeeze the shoulders. 2, 1, good, big breath in and out. One more time, big breath, spread the fingers and out. All right, you are all done, woohoo!